Hi guys, so it's the start of the third week of me using the Clinique 3-step blemish system, and already this week I can tell that it looks like it's going to be a good week for my skin. I've noticed that it has cleared up a lot since the first time that I actually started using this, and I have noticed that I do still have a load around the bottom of my face, but they're not as bad as they were before. I do have one giant spot, but to be honest it's only one and the rest of them aren't big at all and they're just little lumps, so I'm not too bothered with that. I think that that's pretty good. And also I don't seem to have any around my nose at all again, and also my forehead seems to be near enough completely clear, so I think it's going to be a good start of the week for my skin, and I am hoping that it's going to completely improve and be completely clear by the end of this week or even next week. I really hope that after 4 weeks of using this product it's actually going to make me have such nice beautiful skin as well. So I know that I've already said about the bottom of my face breaking out. I've noticed that sometimes I have maybe a little bit of redness on my cheeks, maybe one blotch of redness, but it doesn't seem to be loads of them and they don't seem to be proper spots. It just seems to be a bit of redness, and then that seems to go within about 1 or 2 days, so that's completely fine. So I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see what my skin looks like. So as you can see I do have a bit of redness around my chin, and I also have quite a bit of spots. The redness has gone down a lot since the first time that I started using it, and then my spots are quite big. Right, this one is huge and it's like a volcano and it's all yellow and it's disgusting, but then the rest of them, they're just little tiny basically bumps. There's not really much there, just a little bit of redness, but yeah, they're not come up like really big spots or blemishes or anything. They just seem to be quite fine and I can cope with this. This seems to be fine. And also I haven't got any on the top of my mouth as well, which is really good. It does feel a little bit bumpy, but that could be because my blemishes are clearing up that were around here. So I think that that's pretty good as well. And then I don't seem to have any spots on my cheeks at all. My pores have gone down a little bit. I've noticed that there is maybe one right here, and then there is a little one just here above my lip, but it just seems to be doing pretty well. There are a few little bumps here, but they're not proper spots, so I'm not too bothered about those. I feel like that's quite good. And yeah, my nose is completely clear and doesn't have any blemishes on it at all. So now onto my forehead, and I feel like it's near enough completely clear. There's not really any blemishes anywhere. It doesn't seem to be really red anywhere, and the ones that I had along here are clearing up very, very well. You can just hardly even see the redness on there, so I feel like that they're going really good, and they're probably going to be completely gone within a few days as well. So the good thing is that it's really positive news, so I'm really impressed with how it's been going, and I'm really looking forward to this coming week because I feel like that my spots may near enough clear up if I use it like I normally do, twice a day religiously. So hopefully my skin's going to be completely clear within the next week. So yeah, I'm just really excited to try this out for another week or two, and I'm really looking forward to my skin getting nice and clear. It does seem to be improving a lot, and yeah, I'm really excited, and I will give you another update tomorrow, guys. Bye! Hi guys, so it's day 16 of me using the Clinique 3-step blemish system, and like I said yesterday, it does seem like it's going to be a great week for my skin, and I can already tell that it's cleared up a little bit since yesterday as well. I literally have no spots on my forehead, and I have no spots around my eyes or on my nose. The only spots that I do have are around my side of my face here, and then also on the other side and on my chin. I don't have any spots around this area at all on my nose. So literally from this part upwards there are no spots, no blemishes, nothing, and then from here downwards I do have some spots, but to be honest I think I might change my diet a little bit more. I haven't been having a lot of chocolate really, to be honest. I think I had a bit of chocolate cake yesterday, and that's probably the first bit of chocolate I had in probably about a week, so I don't feel like it's my diet that needs changing really. I can just cut it all out because, to be honest, I don't really eat it very often, and I don't know if that's why my blemishes are still staying here, but they have calmed down a lot since yesterday, especially the giant one that I did have. It has calmed down a lot. I have got quite a lot of spots, but to be honest I had loads yesterday as well, but I can feel my skin already getting a lot more clearer anyway. As I said, from my nose upwards I have no blemishes at all, and then from my nose downwards I have loads of them. But to be honest, I'm just really optimistic that they're going to be clearing up this week or next week, so yeah, I'm quite excited. So hopefully I will see an improvement in the next few days and I'll be really happy with my skin because I literally can't wait for all of these blemishes to just like go. Then I'll be a super happy bunny. So this is how my skin looks. As you can see, I do still have quite a lot of blemishes around here, but they are clearing up, especially the giant one that I had, and I've only have a few that are very, very red, and I'm quite happy that only a few of them are red. The other ones are quite small, to be honest, and you can't really see them, especially in the mirror. Only if you go really up close. I can actually only see 1, 2, 3 of my spots when I'm looking in the mirror right now, so that's pretty good. And also my chin, I feel like that's really clearing up as well. I can't actually see many blemishes at all on my chin. Obviously it's still red, but to be honest I don't think I'm going to get rid of the redness on my chin anyway. And then around this side of the face I do have one that's here, and that's quite big and red, but it's not like a proper spot, it's just a little bit of a lump. And then I also have some around here, but not as many on this side. Hi guys, so it's another day and it's another update for the Clinique 3-step blemish system. Now I did not do an update yesterday, and that's only because my skin didn't really look any different from the day before, and I didn't really see any point in actually doing another update if it didn't look any different. And I have noticed that today a lot of my blemishes have tended to have cleared up and they do seem to look a lot better. I mean, like, I still have quite a few blemishes on here around my cheeks, just like there, but everywhere else basically is near enough clear. I have one little tiny blemish on the top of my head right here, but it does seem to be going really good and it does look good and it is starting to clear up, and I'm really, really happy about that because I just basically have a few here that aren't really red or anything. They're just sort of there, they're not red, and a few here and they're not red either, so I'm really, really happy about that. And I'm glad that they are actually clearing up because soon I will have very lovely, perfect, blemish-free skin, and I'm so happy about that. I did have my appointment at the Clinique counter yesterday, I believe it was, or the day before, and she took a look at my skin and she even noticed that there was a big difference. I was wearing my normal foundation I normally wear, which is the Rimmel Wake Me Up foundation. That one's a very light foundation and it's only got a tiny bit of oil, but that seems to be the only foundation that doesn't break me out in spots, and it seems to make my skin look really nice and glowing, and yeah, just doesn't break me out in spots. So I'm really happy that I've actually found one that does really good, and it wasn't really expensive either, and it doesn't even look like I'm even wearing foundation when I do wear it. So I went for my appointment and the lady actually said to me that it looked really good, and she said that all she noticed was a few spots around the bottom of my chin, and I did say to her that that's the place where I normally get loads and loads of acne, and she said that everywhere else looks completely clear on my skin, and I do feel like it does look completely clear, and I'm really, really happy about that. I just have my little problem area here, and she said that it does look like it's doing really, really well, and she asked if I wanted to book in another appointment in a few weeks time, and I think I'm probably going to go to Boots next week and maybe book another appointment just so she can see exactly what my skin looks like, and then I can see if there's a big difference. So this is what my chin looks like, and there you go, there are my spots on here. It's not the best, but they are clearing up a lot. They were horrendous before I started using this product, and on my chin there's not really any there. I think there's probably about 2 little lumps there, but it's not encased in acne, which is good. And then around here there doesn't really seem to be much there at all. There seems to be like the odd one, but not a lot. And then on my forehead I do have a little red mark around here. I can't think of whereabouts it is. It's just around here. I do have one little tiny red mark, but the rest of it is pretty much clear, and yeah, I really think that it's doing its job. All of my forehead seems to be doing really well. I can't feel any lumps coming up either on my head, which is a good point. But yeah, it does feel like it's doing really well, and it is clearing up really well as well. Hi guys, so this is what my skin looks like on the 18th day of using the Clinique 3-step blemish system, and I have to say that my skin is pretty much clearing up very, very well already. There are still some blemishes around here, but they're not huge blemishes. They're only tiny little bumps, and they're only a little tiny bit red, so they're very easy to conceal with a bit of foundation, and they're not too bad really when I look at them. I don't feel like that it's huge ones, it's not volcanoes, you can't really see them even when you have any makeup on. It does look really good, and I can't really even feel them. They're like the tiniest little lumps that you can imagine. imagine. I have a tiny blemish coming up around here, and it's not a huge one, it's a very tiny one, and I can just about feel it and I can just about see it, which is really good when you think about it, because to be honest, I really don't want to have giant blemishes on my skin, and when the blemishes are coming through, they are only tiny, which is really good. I have noticed that my skin is still clear on my forehead and also on my nose and then on my cheeks as well. I still have the problem areas around here, but they're clearing up really well. There's not as many on here and there's not as many on here. They're not as red, they're not as big, they're like tiny little bumps. So I feel like it is doing really well, and even when I do have a blemish come through, it's not huge like a normal blemish that I used to have even when I used to use the proactive one. So this is what my chin looks like, and as you can see, there are quite a lot of little blemishes around here, but they're not huge, they're not red, so it's really good, and I'm not too bothered about those because they are easily covered up with a bit of foundation. And I also have a few around here. There's hardly any from what there used to be earlier in the week, so this is good, and also there's none on my chin, which is good as well. I've also noticed that the redness has started to go down a lot more on my chin, which is really good, and also around here the redness has gone down. And then as you can see, I have absolutely no blemishes on my cheeks. I don't have any on my nose or in between my eyes. I literally have for about one that's coming up around here, and that's like the tiniest blemish that you can ever imagine. It's super tiny and you can't really see it anyway, so that's really good. And my pores have started to minimise a little bit more, so I like that fact as well. And then as you can see, I have absolutely no blemishes on my cheeks. I don't have any on my nose or in between my eyes. I literally have for about one that's coming up around here, and that's like the tiniest blemish that you can ever imagine. It's super tiny and you can't really see it anyway, so that's really good. And my pores have started to minimise a little bit more, so I like that fact as well. And then also on my forehead, as you can see, I don't have any blemishes at all. My forehead is pretty much clear, and yeah, it just feels really nice and smooth, and there are absolutely no blemishes on here. There's no redness, which is really good as well.